Hello, Internet. So, job security is a myth. You're always at risk of losing your job, but there is hope. But before I get into the hope, welcome to the Empirical Sword. I'm Lord Master DLC 79. I happen to believe that school doesn't teach. We have to be the masters of our education, and I'll talk more about that at the end of the video. For now, let's get to the hope. Well, let's first of all, let's analyze why job security is a myth. I believe it comes down to the school system. Schools basically train us to be manual laborers, menial workers. Look at what school has you do. And I'm not talking about the learning. I'm talking about the actual repeated behaviors that you have to repeat day in and day out. Show up on time, do your assigned work, pay attention, follow instructions, stay well behaved. 13 years of that, hey, congratulations, you're perfectly qualified to get a job at a factory where the responsibilities are to show up on time, follow instructions, perform your assigned tasks on time, and follow the rules. In other words, to stay well behaved. Exactly the same thing the school system has you do. And school and pretty much most of society is you'll get a good education, whatever that is, and then get a good job, whatever that is, and that's life. As long as you're earning that paycheck, everything's fine. And well, it's on the surface, okay, yes, we can say, yeah, that's how it works. But let's dive a little deeper than that. If you go out and get a job, a regular job, whatever that is, who are you working for? And you may be able to quote an actual person's name as the person that you report to or the person who signs your paycheck. But ultimately, there's a business that you're working for, and that business is in the business of providing goods/services to a consumer base. And ultimately, it's that consumer base that's your boss. And let me tell you, consumers are fickle, and they're prone to whimsy. They can love you one day and then hate you the next. And the higher ups in the business, they're in the business of trying to keep the attention of the consumers every single day, and in a good way, a way in which that makes the consumers want to spend money for the goods and or services that the business provides, thus getting money to the company, which is theoretically and ideally and legally, or legally, or the company's legally obligated to distribute this money to everybody working in the company who helps make that possible. The hooking up of the customer with the goods and or services. I realize that sounds very, very convoluted, and it is. In my opinion, it's a little more complicated than it actually should be, but that's the world we live in. But the point is, ultimately, it's the consumers that sign your paycheck, just in a very indirect manner. And I've actually heard people down at the lower grunt level saying, I wouldn't want to be up in the main office because they got to worry about keeping the customer's attention and making sure that everybody's happy, and then the advertising and marketing. I don't want to deal with any of that. Well, the thing is, you still have to worry about it, because if the consumers suddenly decide that they want to get their services elsewhere, and that happens for a long enough period of time, the company loses money and they shut down, and then you're out of a job. And I have a story about this. Technically, it's a story that I've already told on this channel, but it fits the context of this video as well. Excuse me, been sick. Um, sorry, coughing initiated a brain fart. And yes, my story. My story. Well, not really my story. Well, part of my story. Anyway, the point is, I worked for a restaurant 10-ish years, give or take. I'm not good with time. But I mean, what happened wasn't exactly unexpected. How soon it happened was, but business kept going along as it was, and we went off for Christmas break. We got 2 days for Christmas vacation, and then the first day back, we all got gathered together for a meeting, and the meeting was essentially, hey, guess what? We're shutting down permanently forever. Saturday is going to be our last day open. It's going to be your last day. After that, you're going to be unemployed. Happy New Year. I mean, that they didn't exactly use those words, but that was the overall message. In 4 days, you're going to be unemployed. And it was kind of a multivariate reason for why the doors were being shut permanently. But one of those reasons was declining consumer base. You're always at the whims of the consumer. And if they start to get their services from another business, your business suffers. And if it suffers badly enough, the entire thing shuts down and you're out of a job along with everybody else. So this does happen. And this is why the whole idea of job security is a myth. But there is hope. And part of the hope lies in not falling into the laborer or worker mentality of, I just need to get this one job and show up every day and do my thing, and then I get a paycheck and everything's fine. No, do not live paycheck to paycheck. I mean, if you're in a particular financial situation, living paycheck to paycheck may be forced upon you, but that's not all there is to life. And thinking that that is how life is, that's kind of how you trap yourself into being in that life. And that's how you kind of trap yourself into being at the whims of consumers. I mean, the thing is, you're always going to be at the whims of the consumers. The issue is you just having a job that you go to every day or 5 days a week or whatever to earn a paycheck. That is not enough. One source of income is not enough. There needs to be diversification. You need to be investing. You need to be, you need to be putting away a nest egg, but you also need to be investing. Start relying on dividends, and doing things in the. Come on, focus. There we go. Doing things in this book right here, and there are other books as well that I need to be reading as well. This is stuff I'm learning too, because I'm the product of the exact same school system that you are. It's just I have the knowledge. I need to be implementing it now. One of the things I want to do is share the knowledge, and part of the knowledge is not just one source of income. A job is not enough. There needs to be investing. There needs to be a side hustle. And some little side thing that you're doing in your free time that generates income. I mean, maybe it's like only $100 a month, but that's an extra $100 a month. Start putting money into investments, and maybe the dividends are giving you another extra $100 a month. Everything starts growing then. These are things that I need to be doing as well. So yeah, there you have it. Don't just be thinking like a worker of, just as long as I keep doing this job and earning that paycheck, it's fine. No, it's not fine. It's not enough. There needs to be more. There needs to be diversification. There needs to be multiple streams of income. And really, there's more to it than just money. It's personal satisfaction. I mean, if your job satisfies you, great. If it doesn't, then your side hustle should be satisfying you. It should be your own personal you outlet of expression or something. Something that makes you feel happy. Because in the end, it's not just money. I mean, money is just one of the things that is needed for life. You also need happiness. You also need health. If your job is impacting your health, then, you know, you need to start transitioning to something that's less health risky. It's probably not the best way of using words to describe that, but hopefully the idea got across. But it requires work, and it requires a huge change in mindset. Again, going back to the mindset video, it's magic. Change your perception, and it's almost like you change the entire world. And again, I've rambled on for almost 15 minutes. And I think I've actually delivered the message already. It's just me not wanting to shut up now. So, what is this whole thing about school doesn't teach? And I think it's quite obvious. There are things that I think school should be teaching, but it isn't. And, I really do think that this is information that people need. So I'm trying to fulfill that need, and I believe that gamers need to receive this information as well. So that's why I have gaming content on my channel, trying to attract gamers to this kind of content. You're just very subtly trying to hint their way over to here, where they can get the good stuff. That's the secret devious plot behind the Empirical sword. It's devious. But if that sounds like something that you're interested in seeing more of, the deviousness, subscribe and hit the bell icon, because the bell icon turns on notifications. And whatever you're watching next, I will see you then.